play number 5, the webinar reel-in. So webinars, back in the day, there was no internet, right? So in order to get information about how to solve your problem, you had to call a salesperson. And that salesperson gave you the education that you needed to make better decisions about what you ultimately wanted or needed to buy. The internet came along and that all changed. Everybody's like, I don't want to talk to a salesperson. I want to find out myself because I don't want to be tricked by a salesperson. I want to find out as much as I can about what's out there so I can get myself set up to figure out what I really need and not overspend, right? So that's when the webinar showed up, right? And it was like, okay, you'd have this webinar and I'm going to give you information and I'm going to tell you all about X, Y, and Z. And it became whoever educates the client wins the client. So if you were the person to give them the information, then they felt more comfortable with you. So this play starts off at the 50-yard line, but then we end up going back to the 50-yard line, coming back again. So you'd have a webinar that answers some key question that your customer has, some key worry that they have, and you say the 10 things that you need to know before doing X. And then you promote that webinar on LinkedIn, you can promote it on Facebook. There's actually a ton of websites where you can promote your webinar. You can even, on Eventbrite, you put your webinar up there. And you drive people to this webinar promotion. You can even do a few ads if you wanted. And then a handful of people sign up for the webinar. And then they attend the webinar. So now we're at 3. Some people will not attend the webinar. They are busy, they thought they could, they were excited about it, but life happened. So they actually get an email and they'll watch the replay, right? So we may have somebody who attended, somebody wants to go back and say, well, let me watch the replay. Then we start to email them, right? Did you know this? Maybe we tell them something else helpful. One of the things about offering the more expensive services is typically you're offering them to a business. And we don't need to advertise to businesses because we can get a list of them. Like, it's very easy to find out all the nail salons in Connecticut, or all the pizza places in Connecticut, or all the auto repair shops in Connecticut. So you can actually get the owners and their names. So, maybe somebody joined the webinar, you got their contact information, and then you go, you know what, let me just give them a call. So you give them a call and you say, hey, what'd you think? Was it any good? Can I mail you something? And they go, no. You go, okay, that's not a lead. And the other person goes, yeah, sure, why not? And at that point, that's a lead for you. So you mail them a brochure, which costs you a little bit to put together, but you're rationing who gets them. And then you send a few more email updates. You could probably throw some remarketing ads in there. And now we're up to 10. Once we're at 10, we're in play for a more complicated sale. Now this one all starts with a webinar, but I actually saw somebody offer free sailing, afternoon sale. I thought, that's amazing. And it could work very much the same way, where you sign up for the afternoon sale. Unfortunately, you're stuck on a boat with a salesperson. But if they're friendly enough and you enjoy the water, then it could work. But that's not going to be the end of it. You have that person's going to have to email and phone call and brochure and marketing updates. And so this play is pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of components, right? Which is why you typically would get a marketing person involved. But if you don't have that kind of budget, as long as you have the list of to-dos, you can actually get through this list.